The views and opinions of this broadcast do not reflect the views and opinions of Armed Media, New Productions, and its affiliates. Enjoy the show.
Tastes just like candy.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Ask for Candy, where a bunch of powerhouse women and a few brave dudes get together online to talk about love, sex, relationships, and what it takes to be amazing on the HarperLoveCoach.com. I teach and inspire audacious intimacy to powerful, professional, grown women who want real relationships from seductive singlehoods. More importantly, I help hardworking women who have survived abuse, whether partner or parental, have vibrant, alive, magnetic, and passionate, healthy love lives. Hi, Lee. I see you just came in. Today, you guys, has been such a crazy, hectic day. Like, I don't even want to begin to tell you that I'm just glad to actually have made it here and to be here. Tonight, I'm coming to you from uptown, but I have a special expert guest coming in from Newport Beach, California, and she's amazing. I'm going to tell you about her in a second. Hola, Lee. My love. So as you guys are trickling in, and those of you who are on the audio out in the Armed Radio world, what's up, everybody? I love you. Thank you for being here. And don't forget, I want you guys to let your friends know I am still looking for like lifestyle badasses, therapists, coaches, etc. for this spring's Ask for Candy, because I will come to you unless you are very far away. Like tonight, I'm going to have my guest come in by remote. But I'm looking for really amazing people who are helping people live their best possible love life to be experts on the show. Now, the spring calendar is almost completely full, but this summer I'm doing the Badass Bachelor theme, and that's going to be the whole thing throughout the summer. So let me make sure to invite my guest so she knows she's going to be coming in soon. Invite her to watch, and I will bring her on camera pretty soon. So now you're either listening on your TuneIn app on your smart device to Armed Radio, or maybe you're in the garden on armedradioglobal.com. We're also on iHeartRadio, so if you have an Alexa, you can ask for Candy, and you can also stream us later on Spotify and on Spreaker if you just want to walk around and have me in your pocket. That's where I'd love to be. Or maybe you're live here on Facebook with us right now, which would be fantastic, because I definitely want you to interact tonight. We have a really good topic, and you can talk to us. If you are on Facebook, I also want you to join the Creative Love Collective. I want you to join Armed Radio Group News. And also, I just found out, I can't remember the name of it. If you guys are on Armed Radio, there's going to be a parenting expert starting at 10 o'clock. Which our show ends at 9, and then there's another show. But at 10 o'clock, for those of you, my daters and single people who are parents, you're probably going to want to listen to that show, because I have a feeling it's probably going to be somebody really great. I don't know a whole lot about it. I know it's brand new. I just saw like a little snippet in Armed Radio Group News. What's up, Lewis Thomas? So for the parents, there's another show at 10 o'clock too for my dating parents. We're not doing call-in tonight because I'm actually using my phone for the Facebook Live, but you can email me. If things come up that you want to talk about, you can email me at 1-800-508-5431. Sharon, I know you're there and you're chomping at the bit, and I'm going to invite you in a second. Right now, I want us to take a moment to make sure that we share to all the different those of you who are watching, feel free to share with your friends, share with your groups. I'm about to share to my business page because, we're living in a social media age, and it's very important that we do these things. And I'm also going to share to Armed Radio, and I'm going to be bringing in my expert very soon. Like I said, I'm CandiceHarperLoveCoach.com. Those of you out in the audio world who are just listening for the first time, and my talent is conversation, my passion is personal growth, and my purpose is to teach and inspire radical self-acceptance in myself and others so that we can all have our best possible love life. And Lewis Thomas Jr. says, how are you doing, beautiful lady? Best wishes to you and yours. Thank you, my love. You're very sweet. I hope that you're staying with us tonight to hear the whole conversation, because I'm bringing in my guest expert very soon. And if you are single, we're going to have a very fun, juicy conversation about online dating. Woo! I don't know how you guys feel about it. I did it the first time around when it like first got to be kind of a thing. And I got to tell you, I didn't love it. There's a lot of catfishing going on. I don't know if you guys remember chat rooms and stuff like that. And then they started having like, I forget what some of the first ones were. Plenty of Fish didn't come for a little while, but there was another really crappy one. And sorry, Plenty of Fish, but not necessarily the best ocean to be fishing in. Plenty of Fish, there was something before that, and there were all the chat rooms, and before social media, when social media just started, like online dating was a scary, creepy, mysterious thing that I found myself in, and I met a lot of catfishers and weirdos, but then I found that when it started to get better, like online dating started to become more of I don't know. It just it raised its quality somehow. I don't know how that happened. I guess more and more people found out about it, and then more and more quality people were like, oh, well, let me try it out. Because remember, it used to be the dark secret. Those of you who are old enough, remember that online dating when it first started was like you never told anybody that that's what you were doing because it was a little bit embarrassing. They didn't want anybody to know. It was almost like putting an ad in the paper back in the day or something. I don't know. In the one ad or something, you wouldn't want anybody to know. Lewis says it was too many fake folks. That might be true. And you know what? I gotta say, I used to always say the thing that made it bad was the unavailables. But like I always say, that's why this is a conversation. So, back on track. As usual, or as per usual, we're not here to hand down a bunch of dating and relationship rules or rights and wrongs. And we're not here to shame your love situation. So there's no shame around online dating. It is not a shameful thing. It's a wonderful thing. It's a wonderful outlet. We just want to know how to use it right. Our only intention is to create audacious intimacy, seductive singlehoods, and healthy relationships. So tonight and every Monday night, we're going to do what we do, which is have a conversation that engages, educates, and enlightens us all in the areas of love, sex, relationship, and vibrating high. And so I'm about to bring on my guest tonight because we're going to talk about how to create an irresistible dating profile so that you can attract what you want and not what you don't want. What's up, Reverend Brown? I see the Rev is here. What you don't want. And I gotta say, in as much as like I'm good on the love coaching thing and I feel like I'm a good communicator, online dating is not my forte. So I brought Dr. Sharon Cohen, who I'm about to tell you all about. Let me bring her in and then I'll do her intro because I think she said she's coming in. Yes, she's adding right now. Hopefully she'll be in soon. What's up, Rich Siegel? I'm gonna be hi, Dr. Sharon.
Hello.
I didn't get to do your official intro yet, but I want to do your official intro, and then I want to give you a chance to just get related with the people and say hi.
Right on.
All right, cool. So Dr. Sharon Cohen works with smart, powerful women who are successful at work and want a relationship to balance out their lives. I love that. She helps her clients maintain their place in the boardroom, take that boss hat off when they're leaving work, and attract the relationship that they desire. This is I feel like this is just such a relevant thing right now. She's a native of Newport Beach, California. Dr. Sharon graduated from UCLA and received her master in social work from the University of Southern California and received her doctor of philosophy from the University of Texas at Austin School of Social Work. She has an extensive background working in the psychiatric hospital setting. Wow. We're going to have another show talking about that with addictions and mental health issues, and has since helped dozens of clients find their way to love and back. She's also gone through her own journey. I saw some of your wedding pictures, gorgeous. Breaking through her personal barriers with the help of her own mentor, and attracted and married her husband at the age of 50. You go ahead, girl. Woo! We love that. Dr. Cohen now you get to have an opportunity to say what you'd like to say, to just say hello to the people. We have a lot of gentlemen on tonight. A lot of single gentlemen are here on the live.
And it's so wonderful. I mean, I've worked with men and couples as well, but my target audience definitely is females. But you know what? In order to have healthy women looking for men, there's got to be healthy men out there too.
Right.
Coming together with the women. So I love good men as well.
Right. And I often hear, like on social media, you'll see where women comment. It's like, why do we always have to do the work? But the good men are out there doing the work too, I feel like.
You know what? I'll tell you why the women have to do the work, because they're the spiritual guides of the relationship. If you don't have a woman in the room, then change doesn't really happen, because it's like we are the ones who are, we're the change makers of the relationship. We have it within us. Men can do a lot, and they have to get healthy on their own.
Yeah.
But if the woman doesn't make any change, It doesn't matter. The man can make all, like if they're in a relationship, if the man makes all the change and the woman doesn't make any change, the relationship will not change.
Yeah.
But if the woman makes change, she can bring the man along to make change, but it won't go the other way around.
I love that you said that. I mean, I've heard it, other ways I've heard it is that the woman is the emotional leader, the spiritual energy. I mean, it's just a difference, right? Like there's just a difference in the energies that we bring. And men lead in a different way. We have our leadership and our power in one way, right? And men lead in a different way.
Exactly it. There is a difference in what our energetics are and our power is, our potency.
Yeah.
And so men actually absolutely have their way of leading that's super important and super valuable, and then women have theirs that again super potent and super powerful. And it's not that we can't move back and forth. Sometimes men actually have that emotional capability more than the woman does,
mm-hmm.
and so the energetics of the relationship might flow that way, but in general, it's going to be the woman it's whoever has that, what we call the yin energy, the more yin energy in the relationship. That's the person who's more important to have in the therapeutic room.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. And usually that person who has more of the yin is asking for it, right? They're the ones like exactly. Seeking.
That's the one who's seeking help. Absolutely.
Right? I love it. And I see Joseph, Xavier, hi Joseph. We've got a lot of nice gentlemen. This is going to be fun. So Dr. Cohen, I don't know if you got a chance to look over some of the questions I have for you.
I did look at them.
Oh, good. So I want to go through them one by one, and then we're going to get into like actually going through these profiles. I have some that I sent you, and seeing, what you think as far as like the possibilities of attracting a soulmate through what was written. And then also you
have great profiles, some really good profiles to look at.
Right? And I thought, in a couple of them, I thought, well, there was actually even one in here, and I'll point out which one it is, where it was like, that almost sounds like my profile. But I was thinking, one of the things for me, and I'm a love coach, but the online dating thing is not my zone of genius. I'll be the first to say. I do coach vulnerability. I believe in vulnerability and, just saying what's true for you. But for me, the online profile thing, like I feel like I do that, and what I attract is not what I expect. So I feel like this is going to be helpful for me too. And those of you who are listening and watching, feel free to chime in. If you have things that you want to ask about. I don't know if Dr. Cohen, if you can see the comments, but if somebody asks, I can then, relay the question. Yeah, but I wanted to go from profiles that look like people actually put work in them, because I think sometimes we feel like we've done the work and we've really thought about it, but there's things that we've missed, right? It's so easy to take a bad profile and just kind of like, let's turn it completely around. But when it's someone who's like really has written from their heart and they're still not attracting what they want, I think that's, that's what's to look at, right? Especially with my audience. Everybody's pretty enlightened, but, we all have our moments where we're like, we need a little more help with this thing.
Well, yeah, I think it's a blind spot. It's just a little bit of a blind spot. You're like, I'm really pouring it out here. But, everybody can use a little bit of shining a light on what could be better.
Yeah, absolutely. So my first question for you is, where do I even begin with writing the profile? Like I've written many of them. Like I was telling them before I brought you on, I was telling the audience that I actually was doing online dating the first time online dating came around. And I don't know if you remember what it was like, that like it was so weird and people were keeping it secret and you had to be careful because you didn't know who you were going to meet. And it was, it was a lot more sketchy. So what do you recommend as far as like, where do you even start?
Yeah, excuse me. I think the place to start is actually kind of away from the profile. Like, don't just start typing in. And I think this is unusual because everybody now is typing, kids these days are typing like their papers right into the phone and sending it off to their teachers. Yeah. So I think unusual is to step away from the profile and sit with a piece of paper and start off with what are your core values.
Yeah.
What's that? Like, what are your core values? What's most important to you? Come up with 3 or 5 core values. And I think that's really what you want to start with looking for. Because what I want you to do initially is just get it clear on who you are.
Yeah.
And how is that going to affect who you're looking for?
Yeah.
So if one of your core values is for yourself is integrity, then you're probably going to want to be with a person with integrity. And then you have to kind of operationalize that. What does that look like? That means that you're going to look for someone who makes agreements.
Yeah.
And so this isn't necessarily stuff that you're going to write in your profile, but these are things that you're going to want to ultimately look for in a person.
Yeah.
So start with identifying your core values, and then identify 3 non-negotiables. So these are things that you don't want in a partner. Mm-hmm. And again, these are not things that you're going to say in your profile. These are things that you know that when you go on a first date with someone that you're going to be looking for that you don't want. Because if this person has that, if you want someone, for instance, somebody said something about I don't want somebody who drinks or uses drugs, and you hear them start talking about things about, I party every weekend, they drink 5 drinks in front of you on the first night. It's like, you know what, this probably isn't going to be someone that I want as a partner. Then you would be able to kind of nix them off of your list pretty quick. Yeah. Because that's not going to be in alignment with who you are. So start with those 2 things, and then start writing kind of free form who it is that you think you want and how you want to feel when you're in a relationship. How do you want to feel, and what does the end result look like? Yeah. What do you want to be doing on a day with the person that you're with? Ultimately, I want to be traveling. I want to be, I want to wake up. I want to have a cup of coffee. I want us to have breakfast together. I want to go my way to work and they go their way. Then we meet up for lunch, or our days are completely separate, but we come home, we have dinner together, we plan a trip, we do, whatever it's going to look like, but this is what your day is going to ultimately look like.
I have a question because what I'm hearing and what you're saying, and I love this because I'm a strong believer that being clear about what we don't want is avenue into what we do. So it's like, when we laser focus, I'm so clear that I don't want this thing. So how do I springboard that into what I do want? So that totally makes sense to me. But I also feel like a lot of times when we're thinking about what we don't want, we get very caught up in what you're saying, I definitely don't want to be with someone who's an active substance abuser, right? So that's, to me, sounds like a reasonable, pragmatic kind of, you know what that means. It's like we're clear on that. But a lot of times I feel like we'll come up with things like, I don't want to be with anyone who, makes less than 6 figures. I don't want to be with anyone who, wears bad shoes. I feel like that clarity of what is a valuable don't want, and what is I'm keeping myself from being in a relationship don't want.
That's a good question.
Right?
Because I think it goes back to your core values.
Yeah.
And it goes back to, if you're saying I don't want anybody who, and I recently had someone say this to me, a client say this to me, I don't want someone who's not a smart dresser. And I said, you don't want someone who's not a smart dresser. Can you tell me a little bit more about that? Yeah. And they did. And ultimately I said, how does it make you feel to be with someone who's not a smart dresser? Well, it just seems this and that. And I said, see, what I want you to be thinking about is, how did you feel at the end of your last relationship? Well, I didn't feel comfortable because of this and this and this and that. And what's important to me is that you feel comfortable in your next relationship. Yeah. So, see, that to me is more of a core value, that you want to feel good, that you want to feel happy. And whether or not they dress smartly is something that you can help them along with. This person just educated me a whole bunch on what it meant to be a smart dresser. Yeah. And it was very educational. I didn't know all these things. Yeah. And so I just flipped the script on what was important for someone who wasn't focused on that, and really, it was just, she was going with what was ideal, and it's okay. She was coming up with a picture in her head, but it's okay, let's let's come down to the ideal of this ideal picture in your head. So let's get down to reality.
Yeah.
So what a real person in front of you might look like. A real person in front of you might not dress smartly, but he may make you feel more beautiful and better and more comfortable and more loved than anything that you could ever imagine. And if he didn't dress perfectly, how would that be for you?
Yeah.
Would you maybe be okay with that? Would you maybe be okay with maybe teaching a little bit about dressing smartly? And if he was okay with that, would that be okay? Oh, well, yeah, that would be okay. Well, then let's talk about that, you know?
Yeah. Which is a nice segue into what you're talking about. So, like, getting into what you want to feel in the relationship and how you want the relationship to go, it can kind of bring you out of being stuck on, you know, what we a lot of times are stuck on when we write our man list. Because when we get, I feel like if we get more in touch with exactly what we want to feel, like if a man is making you laugh and you feel really good around him, do you really care about whether he's wearing brown or black shoes or whatever we tend to come up with? Yeah, or tennis shoes. Whatever, yeah.
The god-awful thing that all women say, well, he can't be wearing athletic shoes. It's like, oh, God forbid he's wearing athletic shoes.
Yeah. Which meanwhile, men who wear athletic shoes tend to have really nice butts. Whatever, that's all. Not all of them, but a lot of them.
Yeah. And so I think, so once you've like gotten this down on how it is that you want, where you want to be and how you want to feel, then you can start looking at writing the profile and looking at you know, developing you know, kind of a more specific idea of what it is you want to say in your profile. So I just think that's the starting point, is just to say, get the picture of what you're looking for.
I love that. That's awesome. So now here's my next question, because then, okay, you get the picture of what you're looking for and you're so clear, you know, you've gotten really definitive about what you do. And another thing, because when I did research on your website, one thing you said that's really great on your website was that also the knowing what you don't want makes it so cut and dry. Like you're so sure. Like, I know that you're a deal breaker if you're a drinker. I know that you're a deal breaker if you're, you know, I forget what you gave three great examples, but it also gives you that clarity, right? And that clarity is really good. But now when I'm so clear and I know what I want and I know I'm not going to go for the deal breakers, how do I then determine what is shareable in my profile and what is not?
Right.
Yeah.
So it would seem like, well, if I just share this on my profile, now it makes sense. But really, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing wrong with going and having a cup of coffee with somebody and, you know, learning that while you're sitting with them. I'm not a huge fan of doing big dinner dates for a first date, because I think you know, getting in front of somebody is the way that you test chemistry. Yeah. And I just think it's really negative energy to put out like all these things that you don't want. It's something for you to find out in front of someone. Yeah. And a coffee date can be 30 minutes. You know? And yes, you have to get to the coffee, you have to, but you know, this is also something you can find out over the phone, like just by listening. You don't have to actually be on a date. You know, if someone's if your things are things like, you know, party, you know, like drinking a lot or whatever, if you talk to someone for a short period of time on the phone and they start telling you stories, oh yeah, I was out partying with my buddies, blah. If a drinker lets these things, you know, and other things, I mean, I can't think of what the other ones that I might have put there, but if you're looking for something to see that this is one of your non-negotiables, you'll hear it. Yeah. You'll hear it.
Like one of the ones I think you used was someone who doesn't want kids or doesn't I forget whether it was doesn't want kids or doesn't have kids or isn't looking for.
Right.
Yeah. You're right. Like they'll start telling their stories and how they're living and things like that.
Yeah, you'll hear it, because if you're that's the reason I say you want to know your don't wants and be clear on them, because if you're the reason you don't want to focus on your wants, so this is so against law of attraction stuff, but the reason you focus on your don't wants is because if you're focusing on your wants, you're like, oh, I want someone who's charming and has a great job and is really close with his family, right? If you're looking at these things and you hear all of these wonderful things, you're like, look at he's got all the things I want. But then there's these things that you don't want that are over here. If you're not listening for those things, you won't be hearing them because you're not looking for them. But if you're looking for your don't wants, there they are, shining bright with red lights, fingers pointing at them.
Yeah.
If you're listening for them, that's why I say to focus on your don't wants on those first few dates, because you'll see them.
I gotcha. Or at least be in I like the word listening, like be in the listening, right? Like I feel like when we're willing to just like be in the moment that we're in, ears wide open, then the don't wants will show themselves, right?
They will. We've heard so many times when a person or when a man tells you who he is, believe him.
Yeah.
They will tell you up front. And women, it goes the other way.
Yeah.
If a man wants to know if a woman is crazy and not the good, fun, kind of sexy crazy that men like,
good, fun, sexy.
He'll tell you.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's true. I love it. So, with the writing of the profile, should I focus more on myself or what I'm looking for? Because I noticed in a lot of the different ways that people write profiles, some people are very like, I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that, whatever. And other people are like, well, I'm a fun lover and I travel. And what do you think is more important to focus on out of the two?
Yeah, I think in order to show who you are, to make someone interested in who you are, then you have to show them who you are. You have to kind of be, open with and generous with some information so that they have something to respond or to reach out to you and say, I'm interested in you. But if you're just talking about what you want, then they're going to be like, oh, yeah, that's me. Like, but what do I have to? How am I connected to you if all I can say is that's me?
Yeah,
I'm not connected. I'm not connected to that. Like, that would not attract me to write back to somebody if I could go, oh yes, this is exactly me.
Yeah.
It only is attractive to me to write back if I'm like, oh, you're interesting. I want to write to you because you're interesting. Now I want to know more.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It does, but does that mean put a combination of both? Like, how do I then tackle that? So if I'm talking about myself on my profile, do I start out with this is who I am and this is what I want? Because that's kind of what I've done in the past, and I don't know.
I think it's fine to have a little bit about kind of who it is that you're looking for. But I would definitely focus more on who I am.
Okay.
And then finish off with maybe about this is but see that this is who I'm looking for should never be I'm looking for a relationship. Even though you're looking for a relationship, it should be about this is the person I'm looking for. This is the partner I'm looking for. This is the because if you use the word I'm looking for a relationship, you can use that sort of ultimately in person you can say ultimately I'm looking for a long-term committed monogamous relationship that's continuous and we see each other on a regular basis. You can say that in person, but when you say that in a profile, it sounds like you're just looking to fill a job.
Yeah.
So I would say in a profile you want to say, I'm looking for my partner in crime. I'm looking for my lifelong companion. I'm looking for, the person who makes me feel filled up and full of love, or something, something along those lines.
Yeah. You're saying like come from more of an emotional feeling place rather than the logistics and the specifics. Yeah, that totally makes sense. So, here's another question, because as I was researching around and looking around, and like I said, even one of the profiles, to me, I was looking at another woman's profile, and hers sounded so similar to ones that I've had before. And the way that she wrote her profile, I was like, this it sounds like it could almost be me writing this profile. So how do we stand out from all the other people in our demographic, right? Because you figure, whenever you go, like for Match.com in particular, you can search by height, by religion, by race, whatever. So there's going to be, another 1,000, 2,000 people that are in your same demographic for whatever age, race, religion, kid status. that you have. So what do you recommend for being able to stand above or stand out from, all those people that are sort of your competitors?
Well, I think the key is to not just use words that are descriptors, like to say, I'm loyal and loving and like to walk on the beach and, I have dogs. I think you have to get much more descriptive than that and be authentically you with describing who you are.
Yeah.
And that's why you go back to that first question you asked about, like, what is it that you see? How is it that you see your life living out with this person, and describe it in much more clarifying sort of detail.
Yeah.
Say, a typical day for me looks like this, and, I'd love to have a partner to do things with. And for women, I encourage them to really sensually, meaning using your senses, taste, touch, smell, hear, see, describe everything that you're talking about. So if it's, I love to wake up in the morning and I have the coffee machine set so that it's already brewing and I can smell the coffee, and it wakes me up every morning. And that's like one of the happiest moments of the day, because I love the smell of coffee. And I can hear my dog, his little toenails tap, 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 tapping, ready for me to let him out of the door and go do his business. And then I, pad out to the kitchen to grab my cup of coffee and hold the cup in my hands and that first sip. And I know it sounds so ridiculous, but that is just the happiest moment of my day. And then just go to describe what your day is like in clear detail so that someone really gets a sense of who you are.
Yeah.
And can kind of put themselves in your day and kind of get a feel for you.
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying, because it's almost like it's a way of triggering emotion, right? So if you're really like descriptive about, what feels good to you and, what makes you feel connected and human and all of that stuff, it triggers emotion, and like it triggers empathy in people who are connected in that way, right?
Absolutely. I watched with myself when I was dating. I watched relationships change from one level of feeling to another based on starting to use the emotional words.
Yeah.
And then I've watched it with my clients now. This is where they start, and then they move into using more sensual words, and it's like boom, it just ratchets up the connection and the man's interest, and it's really just from adding these more sensual and it's really from adding just a touch of sensuality to the conversation, because the man's like, oh, you're suddenly more interesting. I don't know exactly why, but there's like a deliciousness to our conversation that wasn't there before.
Like there's like a seductiveness, even if you're not even talking about sex.
Yeah, there doesn't need to be any sexual discussion there, but somehow it is there, because here's this thing. Sex is sensuousness, and everything is sensual. And once you're sensual, that really does lead to better sexual intimacy. Because it's all interrelated.
Yeah.
And when women get in touch with their sensuality, which is a huge part of their feminine energy, then they're able to open up more in their sexuality as well.
Yeah.
So it's really a bonus for everybody when women really embrace that sensual part of themselves.
And I want to really clarify that, because I love that you said that. I feel like that sensual part of ourselves is just our willingness to express how we feel, like those positive, good feelings. Like even if it's talking about, like, I walked through the park and I loved the way the wind felt on my skin, and the way that the flowers smelled, and just like our ability to express that with like real emotion, I feel like I mean, it's even attractive to other women. I feel like it's a very sensual without having to be sexual kind of thing, right? But let me ask you this, because then there's that kind of profile that you could set up where you're like, here's a day in my life and here's what I love and here's what's juicy and, gets me really jazzed up. And then there's the other side of it where, and you can tell me what you think about the possibility of writing your profiles so that you're just very flat and honest about where you're at with things. I feel like, we're of a certain age. Most of the listeners are of a certain age, 30s, 40s, 50s. Actually just being able to say, like, I've been alone for a while, and even though I'm fine, I love myself, I really miss, being with someone in a physical way, or just like really being very honest and flat about how you feel. What do you think about that sort of thing compared to being really positive about the things that you love?
I think there's nothing wrong with being open and vulnerable about where you're at, but I think it's really, I would probably need to really see one, because I think it can come off very, it can come off okay, or it can come off sad.
Gotcha.
And
I'm single and lonely. Yeah.
It's all tone, and it also depends. You can't control how someone's going to receive it.
Yeah.
But and that's the thing with the written word, and why it's all about the words that you put down. But so it's important that you choose your words wisely when you put them down.
Yeah.
That because when you say it, your tone is one way, but when someone's reading it, it's just flat.
Yeah.
So they're putting their own intonation on it.
Gotcha. So it probably would be more effective if you talk about things where you can be expressive in a positive way, like what we were talking about at first.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Because it's hard not to have some sort of sense of positivity when you're talking about the sun warming your skin, or the wind, kind of the breeze in your hair or whatever. It's hard not to have a sense of positivity about that.
Yeah.
When you say, here's where I'm at, there's just this sense of,
like this morning I woke up alone. And if you're talking to someone who, like, let's say they're even just having a bad day, it'll be like, she woke up alone. Because they don't hear, that makes sense. They don't hear your intonation. Yeah. So here's a question. What is one thing that you would recommend that people always include in their profile, besides the some of the stuff that we've been talking about? What's something that you feel like definitely put that in there?
Yeah, well, you know what? I think it's just being super specific.
Gotcha.
And being really clear with how you're talking about yourself, and I guess I'm sort of repeating what I said, but I just do think that that's super important, is really specific with how you're talking about what it is what your vision is, what it is that what would make you happiest.
Yeah, I like that. What is one thing that you think that people should never, ever, ever put in their profile?
Okay, so for women, I think they shouldn't include pictures of themselves with other women.
Okay.
Because then...
It's like, which one are you?
Yeah, they start to compare. Mm-hmm. And, they'll say, men will write back and like, oh, can I get an introduction to your girlfriend? or they'll just see, they'll start to compare you with the other girls. I just think it's just, you're putting yourself in a bad position. And then for men, you're not going to be surprised to hear, it's like the bathroom selfie, the topless, the shirtless bathroom selfie is not a good one. And then the endless pictures of places that they've been, and this is actually for women as well, endless pictures of where they've been where no one is in the picture. Both women and men do this. It's like, you know what? We're not impressed.
Yeah.
It's like, you've traveled a lot. Congratulations. Nobody needs to see all of that. It just doesn't look good.
Yeah.
Just to travel, that's wonderful. You take nice pictures, that's wonderful. But nobody needs to see all the places that you've been. It's silly.
Like a little pretentious.
Yeah.
Although it's great if you've been a traveler, but it can come off, yeah.
But it's like, it doesn't make sense, given it's not the right medium to show off your travel pictures.
Yeah.
Put them on Facebook, put them on Insta, put them anywhere, but it's not the right medium to be showing off your travel pictures.
Yeah. We're going to have to do a whole other show on like what the pictures, what are the best pictures to put together, because I feel like this hour gogoes so fast because we're already at 8:40 and we still have yeah. And so my last question, I feel like you've answered already, but I was going to ask you, I feel compelled to be incredibly vulnerable when I write a profile, is this smart? And it's similar to the question I was asking before. I mean, I do think that the vulnerability piece is really important, but I think it's also something for me. I'm someone in particular who I share very easily. And I can share a lot very easily just because I don't feel, I feel like especially anything that I've healed any shame around. But I know that, for a lot of people that can be a lot to take sometimes. And for some people, if they do have shame around it and you share something that you don't have shame around, they don't know how to take that. So I feel like with the vulnerability piece, when it comes to writing your profile, it's sort of a scary endeavor, but it's just so necessary, right?
Well, I think it depends, I don't know if you've seen the Brene Brown Netflix special that was just on.
Not yet. I have to see it.
She said some great stuff. It depends on what you're sharing and what your idea of vulnerability is. She said sharing your bikini wax on Facebook Live, not vulnerable. It's like vulnerability without boundaries isn't vulnerable. Mm. So it's like you've got to know what it means vulnerable, and it's not the place on your profile to be overly vulnerable. It's like you want to share a little bit, but you don't know all these people who are reading your profile. Yeah. So you want to be open. You want to be open, but risking being too vulnerable isn't necessarily smart, because the world of online people are seeing this. So you want to be open, but being vulnerable where you're sharing something that's really, close to your heart, that's something that you save for, actually what I would say is that I start everybody at a level of 0 as far as trust. And so when I'm in person with somebody, then I might share something that's a little bit vulnerable to start seeing if they can build a trustworthy record with me.
Gotcha.
And little by little, I build that vulnerability record with them so that I can see if they're worth trust to over time.
But is the 0, is that a neutral? That's not a mistrust. Because I want to make sure we clarify that. Yeah, I feel like that's one thing that we miss a lot of times, because I feel like especially those of us, in New York, I always say we're always in survival mode. And one thing about dating in this region, I don't know what it's like in the West Coast, but is that generally speaking, I run into a lot of clients, especially, that mistrust is just huge. Like no one feels like they can trust anybody. So I feel like it's important to clarify that trust at 0 means neutral. It doesn't mean that you're like...
No, it's completely neutral. It's like, I don't trust you, I don't mistrust you, you're at 0.
Yeah.
And so then if you do something that you gave, where I share a little bit of information and you hold that dear, you don't use it against me, then you've built a little bit of trust.
Yeah.
If I share something with you and you somehow use it against me in some sort of a weird way, then you know what, you've lost a little bit of trust. Or if you don't show up for a date, then you go below the trust line, So there's ways of, establishing whether this person is a trustworthy person or not.
Yeah.
And it builds up over time or it degrades over time. And it may be that it goes up and then it goes down, but there's a way of deciding whether or not this person ultimately is trustworthy or not. It just all starts at 0. I don't believe that you blindly start off trusting somebody and then you go down from there.
Yeah.
Until they do something really, really bad, and then you say, I don't trust you anymore. I just don't believe that.
I gotcha. I gotcha. So now we have a little bit of time to do a couple of these profiles, and just we're going to dissect them a little bit. I think we should try to at least get in one of the guys and one of the women, and we'll see. Do you want to pick? I think I have like two. I ranged them in age a little bit. They're in their like 40s and 50s, the people that I picked.
Yeah. Did you have one that you really liked?
Well, here, let me read. Okay, so here's this guy who sounds like he might be an okay guy, but let's see. I want to find out what you think as far as his profile is concerned. He says, I consider myself creative, easygoing, and open to new experiences. I enjoy outdoor reading and dining out with friends. I love seeing shows and movies. Friends are important to me. I'm looking for someone easygoing and fun who enjoys life and values every moment. Someone who appreciates a good friendship as the starting point of a serious relationship. Someone who is active and enjoys new places and trying new things, but also enjoys spending quiet downtime together too. Someone I can share my interests with and maybe discover some new interests with as well. I am attracted to someone who is creative and ambitious. I am a person who loves to learn and believes there is always room for improvement, room to better yourself. I am looking for someone who can teach me new things and I can in turn teach back. I live in Manhattan and prefer to meet someone local and not too far. So what do you think about that, Dr. Cohen?
Yeah, so it's definitely not bad. It's not bad at all. I mean, he sounds like a nice guy, but this goes, I mean, it's a perfect thing to show like how the lack of specificity is, it makes it just a little bit difficult to know, like, so what would it be like to be with this guy? Like, what can you write back? I mean, he loves he enjoys outdoor reading, dining out with friends, seeing shows and movies. That's the specificity that he gave you. And that's not bad, but there's not a lot of meat to that. Yeah. Right? But he does sound like a nice guy. There's nothing that he likes to do growth and improvement, and he's open to learning new things back and forth in a relationship. So he sounds like a nice person, but like as far as what I want to rewrite this a little bit to help, attract more people, I would. Yeah. I want to get more information from him, but I bet this is a nice guy. Yeah, and the thing too, I love that you said that too, because what I was thinking when I was reading it was like I would have to excavate a little bit. Like, I feel like he's probably a nice guy. He's probably, a pretty reasonable, normal, ordinary guy. But there was nothing that, like, I'd have to dig a little bit to find anything. So, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, like, I don't know, like, he wants someone who's active and enjoys new places. Well, active in what way? Yeah. This is a 50-year-old guy. Like, are you rock climbing? Are you playing tennis? Are you golfing? Like, what are you doing? Yeah. Or do you just like to run errands on the weekends? Right. There's more that he could have said that would have given us a better idea of who he is. Yeah. And that's interesting, too, because I noticed that a lot of the men, as I was doing the research, a lot of the men, they have much briefer summaries than the women, because the women, even when they're not really talking about much, really will go on for a while. Than men. Yeah. So I think that men are just kind of filling it out, and they're just looking for who they're attracted to, and then they'll pick, and then that's where they'll start a conversation. Yeah. Whereas women will do more talking to explain who they are. Yeah. Speaking of which, let's try to get at least one woman's profile in, because the ones that I chose are all kind of long. I got to tell you the truth. Right. I'm trying to look for the one that I felt like when I read it, I felt like she and I were similar. Okay. Hold on, let me see. Looking for positive. Okay, so this one I thought was similar to something that I would write, except I don't know about the order, but you can tell me what you think. So she says, I'm looking for something that isn't easily found. The trust of a friendship, the attraction of lovers, and a genuine interest in the person. Not overnight, but a common desire for that for sure.
Before you like, she puts in quotes, or email, being with a man who is drug-free and a responsible drinker or non-drinker is very important to me. So if you are 420, smoking weed at all, or need that drink at the end of the day or on the weekend, I wouldn't waste your time. I get along best with people who take care of their body, mind, and spirit. Self-care is a way of caring for the relationship. I'd like to get to know you if that value makes sense to you. If you seek the definitive high-energy woman, you have found her. My intensity makes me active, sensual, creative, spontaneous, imaginative, and playful. I love being affectionate and showing I care. Despite my forthright introduction, I love what she said that. Despite my forthright introduction, I'm really very goofy, funny, lighthearted, and quick-witted. And she says that's self-proclaimed. She's also caring and honest and a loyal friend who listens. In spite of or due to her education, she says, you'd be surprised how often I say I don't know. I don't have an opinion if I'm not qualified to formulate one. I'm 40 minutes outside of Midtown Manhattan now, but lived on the Upper West Side for years. Music, meditation, and metacognition are my biggest passions, but so are eating healthy, exercising, and napping. If you like fun, being outside, snacks, naps, music, books, dancing, and art, if you like being yourself because you like who you are, I'd love to hear from you. I kind of liked her profile. I thought it's, a lot of it made sense. What do you think, Dr. Sharon?
So this is one of those things where putting all this stuff about before you like her email.
Yeah.
It's like, I get it. It's like you don't want to waste your time if this is someone. I agree that, it's a tough call. Here's the thing. It is a tough call because if someone smokes weed, if someone's a drinker, it's like, why have them right?
Yeah.
Right? You're not into it. And so, on the one hand, it's like, I don't mind the forthrightness, and yet at the same time, there's something about the way...
It's a little rigid.
It's framing that just comes across as a little negative.
Yeah.
So I think I probably wouldn't write it up top. I would probably put it at the end.
Yeah.
And so, because I think that sets the tone for the profile.
Uh-huh.
And so I'd probably maybe move it around a little bit, and then also the way she says I get along best with people who take care of the mind, body, and spirit. It just sounds a little judgy.
Yeah.
So I would probably prefer it if it was just said a little different.
Yeah.
And so again, it's just I'm kind of like a stickler for words and the way things are said, and so.
She could have maybe even talked about that she takes care of her mind, body, and spirit, and what that means to her, right? Rather than dictating.
And so it feels best to be around people who are like-minded.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I think that there's just a way of doing this that just flips the script a little bit, and she's basically saying the same thing, but it's just said in a different way. Yeah. And so this may sound like semantical, but I just think that there's a way to rewrite this that makes her sound much kind of kinder,
softer,
and more open.
Yeah. No, I hear that. Absolutely. I think that's good. I wish we could do more of them. We're so low on time. This hour goes by so quickly. I feel like
it's gone by really fast.
Right? We're going to have to do it again. I have so many more profiles, and I know that there's going to be questions after, and at some point we're going to have to bring you back on and do it again. But what I want you to be able to get sort of a chance to give a sort of a wrap up, takeaways. What are the most important things that you want people to know as far as writing their online profile, and what are a couple things you want to set people up to win with? And then I'm going to let you tell them how they can find you and work with you.
Right. I just think first of all, probably the most important thing is to really know yourself well, and so that you can really make that. And I do think choosing your words wisely is really such an important part of this. And then also knowing those don't wants when you go out on the dates.
Yeah.
I think those are probably the biggest takeaways that I would want people to have. And I think those are probably the biggest.
Yeah.
as far as getting in touch with me, go to my website, drsharoncohen.com, and contact me through there, or write me an email, sharon@drsharoncohen.com, and would be happy to have a conversation. Or there's a free ebook on my website that is called. All of a sudden, I'm blanking on this.
And I had it.
How to turn Mr. Wrong into Mr. Right.
Yes, I downloaded it today. I read it today. It's great.
Yeah, it's a great little ebook, and it'll be fun to download that. And what else? Find me on Facebook and Insta, Twitter, all the fun ones.
Yeah. What's your handle on Insta and Twitter? Is it the same?
It's just at Dr. Sharon Cohen. On Twitter, it's at Dr. Sharon. And on Facebook, it's Dr. Sharon Cohen.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dr. Sharon Cohen. This was so much fun.
It was fun.
Right? I really enjoyed myself. Reverend Shanton Brown, who comes on, he was my guest last week. He says, how come you only do an hour? I know. That's a good question. You got to talk to the Armed Radio people, because they gave me an hour. That's all I got. Yes, I appreciate you for coming on, and I really think that you left a lot of nuggets of value and wisdom, and I hope that you'll come on again. I hope you'll be a friend of the show.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, we can come back and have a lot of fun. So we're going to be signing off soon from Armed Radio and also from Facebook. I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about my 12 Women Intensive, but Dr. Cohen, we got 1 minute left on Armed Radio. Armed Radio, global people, never forget that you're a love machine. If you ever start to feel like you're not getting enough, just make more and ask for candy. So for when you guys go out, you can go out. Dr. Cohen, thank you so much for being here. I acknowledge you. You've made it very special and fun. Thank you for all the nuggets of wisdom. And we will see you again soon. All right. Take care of yourself. The Facebook Live people, for the people who are on Facebook Live, I just want to say thank you guys for being here. Thank you for participating in the conversation. I know whenever I have guests, it's a little bit hard because we get to talking, but hopefully you got a lot of value out of it. I feel like you probably did. Also, don't forget to share this broadcast. Share it all around Facebook. And I'm also going to be sharing it with Dr. Cohen so she can share it all around Facebook. You guys know you can follow me on Instagram at Candy Love Coach and also at Candy Love Coach on Twitter. I don't really tweet that much, but you can always go there. And also, if you want to find out more about my 12 Women Intensive, it's for women who have survived parental or partner abuse, want to move the past out the way, throw out the emotional baggage, and become vibrant, alive, magnetic, and passionate while creating the love life that lights them up and supports their happiness, and also get you in that good feeling place so you can be writing those great dating profiles that Dr. Cohen was talking about. Also, this spring, like I said,